where they'll take on Winter Park on Thursday in the state semifinal matchup for a chance to play in the state final game on Saturday. The Sharks enter the game with a 19-2 record on the season. It's 84 degrees at 2 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, y'all.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Hey,
Let's go.
all right.
We were just talking about, we didn't get our tequila yet.
Arriba.
Yeah. Very well
Tequila.
done. What's the best part of Cinco de Mayo, the food or the drinks, if you partake?
Both.
Food for me at this point stage of my life. Food for sure. 30 years ago, drink would have been the focal point of Cinco de Mayo.
And y'all are celebrating it later this week for a birthday, another birthday in your household.
Well, the Mexican dinner's very popular in the McManus household. So special occasions, especially, the kids love it. Kelsey wants it for her birthday dinner. So I doubt we're doing Cinco tonight, but
Right.
we're going to do Cinco de Ocho in the house on the 8th. So, yeah, it should be good. But it's a fun. It's always Cinco de Mayo is fun.
Yeah,
It's always
and
a good time.
delicious.
Yeah, and great
Yeah.
food. I love when you get to a Mexican restaurant and right away the chips come. Like almost right as you sit down and they're hot and they're salty and just like, oh, it's exactly
And they're
what I
so
need.
light, like very lightly fried. They're so different than if you just
Yeah.
buy Tostitos like in the store.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they
Any
like
brand.
to eat a ton of them, then they don't feel light anymore. And then you're like, what do you
Well,
want for dinner?
I mean, like the chip itself.
Well, you're
Nothing.
technically
is
eating
light.
many tortillas.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
100 of
So you
them.
don't think about it that
Yeah.
way sometimes. But my nephew, I think I've told you guys this, but my nephew loves Mexican food. It's his favorite food. He's 5. And so he had last year a Mexican birthday party. He wanted to have Mexican food and it was all like piñata and Mexican themed and whatever. And somebody asked him what he wanted to be when he grows up and he said a Mexican worker. And I was like, what? He goes, I want to cook Mexican because it's the best food out there. And I was like,
Yeah.
all right,
Go for
dream
it.
big. Yeah, I
It
don't
is.
care.
It
It is
is.
delicious.
It is delicious.
It wouldn't be my number one of all the different ethnicities as far as
Yeah.
food's concerned, but it's so delicious.
What's your
I mean, you put queso on anything.
yeah,
and it's good.
queso. Queso's awesome. Guac. You guys guac
I
fans?
do love
Yeah.
guac.
You like all the stuff in guac? Like what do they
Tomatoes,
put in there?
onions.
Yeah, and they put
Cilantro.
cilantro,
I
right?
do.
Yeah,
Some-
jalapeno.
I don't have the soap gene of
Yeah.
cilantro.
Yeah, jalapeno.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
crush
spicy.
that up. Yeah. Same. That's how. It's so. The only negative about cooking it is the cleanup is pretty tedious, and I'm the cleanup guy, so I know what it's like to clean the dishes after a Mexican meal. Great going in, not so great while cleaning up. But no, it's gonna be great. And happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody out there. Be safe. Drink that tequila smart and safely.
Don't
Okay.
overdo it on tequila.
That's right.
Yeah, I've started
kill you.
making margaritas at home. Not very often, but I've learned the secret to really good margaritas.
What's that?
A ton of fresh lime juice.
Really?
Like literally,
Okay.
basically an entire lime, like per margarita, is about what it equates to. Maybe like half a lime. But either way, that's the key. Is just a ton of. I don't use simple syrup, but just a ton of fresh lime juice, and it's
Yeah.
delicious.
Yeah. I like skinny margaritas. Those are my favorite. So there is a lot of lime, but there's also orange in it. Like I like either fresh
Yep.
squeezed orange or sometimes it's just like a splash of OJ. But I like that because I don't like them to be too tart. Like I
Yeah.
don't want it to be too sour.
Yeah, my girls are into that, the skinny margarita, the spicy ones. I haven't done, so like when I drink Tito's, right, it's just Tito's and water. There's nothing else. It's,
No flavor.
No, ice in the water and the
vodka.
Tito's. And it's great. To me, it's great. I don't need anything. I haven't made I haven't even tried because, it's not that new anymore, but tequila came back like all these different brands. Now it was, cool to have it on the rocks with the little water and you're just sipping it, that kind of thing. I haven't made that transition over. I just haven't tried it yet because usually tequila and I don't get along that
I
well.
feel like we all have tequila stories.
Yeah, everybody's got a bad tequila story. You know what? You're probably right. Everybody out there's like, yeah, I got one too.
It's probably because most people are taking a shot of warm tequila. Like
It's
that's
just not
what
ready
you
for
want.
it. That's the problem. Then you do too many, and next thing you know, you can't feel your feet. It's a problem. It's like moonshine. You ever tried moonshine?
We have
I
some
have,
at home.
yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
moonshine will get
I haven't
you.
touched it. And neither of us have had it in a long time. I think that actually the last time we had a sip of it was when Florida won the national championship in basketball last year.
Is it a
Yeah.
flavor or just like a,
Yeah, there
okay.
are multiple flavors.
Nice.
We have a friend that
That'll
lives in
get
North
you.
Carolina, and so
Yeah.
I'll give you his name and address. I'm just kidding.
I'd like
But
some.
yeah, so we get it from him.
Yeah. It's. I mean, when they add the flavor to it, it's tasty. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
One of them's
Yeah.
butter
like, oh,
pecan.
it tastes so good, and the next thing you know, like, woo. I'm like
You
over
have
this
to-
crowd. How did I get above the crowd? Like, I can't feel my feet. I was at a party once. Literally, I walked up to Christine. I'm like, I've been drinking this moonshine, and I can't feel my feet. She's like, what? I'm like, I feel like I can't feel the ground. She's like, why don't you sit down? I said, I tried that, and then I couldn't. She's like, well, come over here, drink
That
some water.
sounds like someone put
Feels
something
like
in the
absinthe in
moonshine,
there.
too.
No, it was. I don't know. It tasted so good that I just kept
Kept
sipping
going,
it.
yeah.
The next thing I know, like, whoa, I've never done that before. But I'll tell you, it takes me back to my freshman year in college. True story. Friend of mine, a little Asian kid, real smart kid. And he was tiny. He was like as big as my pinky. And we all shared dorms. You know, like he wasn't in my dorm room, but he was in the hallway. And next, one morning, wake up and find out that the ambulance had to come and pump his stomach. I was like, pump his stomach. So I went down his dorm. I said, yo, man, what happened? He's like, oh, man, I got sick. I said, what were we doing? He's like, shots of vodka. I'm like, shots of vodka? Like, how many shots of vodka did you do to get your stomach? He's like, 21. I
Oh,
said,
my gosh.
21?
Oh.
I'm like, what's wrong with you? He's like, I've never done it before. I'm like, see, had your nose in the books all that time. You didn't
Test things
test
out.
the real world out there. You got to test the real world too, man. But anyway, thank goodness. But he didn't know. He just didn't know anything. How scary is that to not know?
Yeah.
And then that happens. You're like, oh, man. Man, oh, man.
And that's why
Yeah. So drink responsibly out there.
I
Big
think
time.
everyone has to learn their limits, but you hope that you learn your limit before it gets to that point in time. But
Well,
yeah.
that was his first time drinking. That's the whole problem.
Well, then we were
Like,
the
he didn't
friends
know.
being like, maybe stop at
were,
5
maybe they were
shots.
Well,
they
they're
were
like,
doing the same thing
yeah,
too.
yeah.
We were in our books. Yeah, we made it to Boston College. Let's drink. We never drank before. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, maybe start with beer.
Trouble.
Start with beer.
Yeah.
Because even 21 beers would be a lot, but it still, I
Yeah.
don't think would get your stomach pumped.
Nah, but it would still be a problem in the stomach, I would think.
If I'm
Maybe
him,
more because it's
Unless
so
you're my
filling.
uncle, my brother Bob, then 21's only 3/4 of the way there. I'm just kidding. Anyway, happy Cinco de Mayo.
Somebody
Keep
did
it
say
together.
it, Tommy. They like that you said Cinco de Ocho, which is 5 of 8, but it's fine.
well, because they're going to do it on Friday.
I know,
Oh, yeah.
but it would
Oh,
be
five.
Ocho de Mayo.
Oh, now I get it. Cinco de Ocho. You're right.
That
call.
stuff
I was
happens
like,
to
oh,
me
He
all the
said it,
time.
and I was like, I'm just
Pakua.
not going to correct
It's
him. But
Pakua.
I was just thinking of the Ocho, and I was like, good job, Tom. Way to get the 8 right.
That's right.
That's all I
Thanks
was
for the
thinking. Yeah,
catch.
that is good.
Appreciate that.
All right, let's turn our attention from tequila and other things that people have consumed too much of in the past
Yes.
and get it to the NFL schedule release. So I feel like most of us have had next week kind of penciled in on our calendars. Not exactly sure which day of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but one of those days being the day that the NFL would finally release the schedule. But normally we find out about the schedule release date right around the draft. Last year we found out during night one of the draft exactly which date it would be, and it was the Wednesday of next week basically last year. So I just again was thinking, all right, Wednesday of next week. But as it gets closer, I'm like, that's a week and a day away. We don't have a date yet from the NFL. It may not be next week. And while that's not a problem for most people, they'll get the schedule at some point in May.
we
But-
planned our lives around.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's like I need to
Schedule.
know sooner rather than later
Yeah.
exactly when the Jaguars are playing football this season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw there's negotiations happening between the NFL and Netflix. Netflix wants more games, so they want to add 5 more games to the Netflix schedule this year, and because of that, it's slowing down the schedule making. Is what I've seen recently of what's going on. So now they're saying between the 18th and 24th is when it's going to come out, but
Wow.
it's definitely going to be later this year.
Yeah, the schedule, the head of the schedule was on a podcast and he said like, what's wrong with the third week in May? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, okay, sure. But at the end of the day, I feel like that extra 5-game package, I have a feeling that that's being bid out right now, and they still haven't come to terms
Yeah.
with an entity because it could be YouTube, it could be Netflix, and so because they have those multiple streaming options, I feel like that is part of what they're waiting for, and then of course Roger Goodell has to sign off on it.
I thought they were waiting for Aaron Rodgers. To decide
That's
if
all
he's
we
coming
got to
back.
figure it
That
out.
is
We need
part of
drama. We need drama on this schedule.
Yeah, that is part of it. I think his name's Andy North, who's the NFL schedule person. And he said last year, after the schedule came out, that they were waiting a year ago for the Aaron Rodgers decision.
Yeah.
So is that factoring into this year potentially too? To me, the NFL is much bigger than that.
Don't wait for one person.
forget it.
And
Correct.
because what we've seen from him this even goes back to Green Bay. He never wanted to do OTAs. So it would just be like this game so he didn't have to do OTAs, and then he would come back for camp, and that's just kind of what it was. So don't expect him to be back at least until that point in time and make the schedule. But I think there's a lot of factors into it. Certain people, I wonder how much the Vrabel, Diana Rossini thing is factoring into things right now, because I was hearing Patriots, they wanted them to open in a primetime game, but do you really want all of the drama when it comes to the outside stuff in a primetime game, or do you want to wait until maybe that dies down? And so if you don't know, because now we just keep getting more and more pictures released here and there, or like the car thing's fake now, and so you don't know, so maybe they're trying to wait for that to die down a little bit too, so it's not like, oh, why did the Patriots get this many, their coach is cheating and he's doing this and da-da-da. So I don't think maybe that storyline is affecting some things too. But yeah, I think the TV stuff in general, and they've decided now when you talk about Christmas games, Black Friday games, Wednesday game this year, there's so many other, all the international games you have now. So it's getting more and more intricate every single year of what they have to decide and how much they have to plan around.
Yeah, and then the drama comes in. You know, they've always done a good job year after year the way they schedule teams. You know, guys moving teams, or maybe there's bad blood, or something went on in the off season, or something. You know, quarterbacks changing, whatever that may be. They always get
There's
it right.
storylines for almost
There's
every
always
game.
a
Even the
storyline.
bad
Yep.
teams, like you can still come up with something. Mike North is his name. Andy North is a golfer. That's
right. He is.
I was like, the name Andy North just sounds right, but no, he's a golfer. Yeah, it will be interesting to see, I think, for the Jags fans, obviously the schedule in general, but also who do the Jaguars play host to in London? If you assume that it's not a divisional rival, so any of the 3 division teams, you come up with the Browns, the Steelers, the Eagles, or the Patriots. I feel like if the Jags have any say-so in any of that, you wouldn't want the Steelers in London, you wouldn't want the Eagles in London, and you wouldn't want the Patriots in London as far as ticket-wise, although it's a reduced capacity stadium. I don't know if that factors in, so that would leave me wondering the Browns.
So maybe if you're the Jags, you're saying, like you're going to make money, that the money this year because of limited capacity isn't going to be what it would have been in a normal Steelers year anyway. And do you want the whole stadium to be black and yellow? Probably not. So get that game overseas and make the money from what you get at the gate. That's big part of the conversation there, because you're not going to have the full stadium.
Well, and for the Browns, I mean, if it's Deshaun or if it's Shador, you got some drama, some excitement to go along with it.
And Trent Baalke.
Depending on what it is.
Now
Trent Baalke. Oh,
I doubt he makes the broadcast, but I suppose you never know. All right. It's going to be interesting to see once we finally find that out. But let's turn our attention back to the current Jaguars. We're going to chat with Andrew Monaco, the play-by-play voice for Texas A&M, talk about those 2 Aggies. I guess we can say Jaggies because that's what the Jags are calling them. The Jaggies that they have added through the draft. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tall, dark, handsome, athletic, ladies' man, sharp dresser.
That must be what we're looking for.
Yeah, none of that.
Can you just back up a little bit?
Ryan the Hacker Green.
So that will be what you call bluffing.
Weeknights on Jack Sports Radio, 1010XL. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL. Installed by Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
Ruben Chinaloo is testing the NBA waters before he ultimately decides if he's returning to Gainesville for his senior season or turning pro. The reigning SEC Defensive Player of the Year, one of 73 invited to the NBA Combine. The 6'10 Gator is a projected late second-round pick and has until May 27th to remove his name from the draft and decide on whether or not he rejoins Todd Golden's squad.
Jeff Prosser here. When you need new windows or doors, you want high-end quality without the middleman markup, and that's why I'm telling you about Cash Building Material. Same premium materials, same beautiful finishes, but at a price that actually makes sense for your home. No subcontractors, no runaround, just their own experienced crews who treat your house like it's theirs. If you want it done right, the first time, get a quote today. Thank me tomorrow. For windows and doors, search Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday is
litigated by Morgan & Morgan. At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Did you know that an annual coating inspection can extend the life of your building by years? Catching early signs like hairline cracks, fading, and moisture intrusion helps prevent costly repairs down the road and keeps your property looking its best. Our team at Performance Painting helps you stay ahead of maintenance with professional inspections and long-lasting coating solutions. Protect your building, protect your budget. Go to performance-painting.com to schedule a free inspection. Performance Painting, repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting! Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 1:35 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Who's MIA? Who's coming back? Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 1:35 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Attention poker players, the tables are heating up at all Best Bet locations. Don't miss a minute of the action with $800 high hands every Friday and Saturday, $555 Cinco de Mayo high hands every 20 minutes, and the Memorial Day $30,000 cash giveaway. And don't forget to earn those entries to win a side-by-side all-terrain vehicle starting May 1st in Best Bet St. Augustine. Get to your location of choice, Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine, and take home your winnings. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com.
You love your land, and you have plans for it. During Kubota Orange Days, you'll love the great deals on their versatile, reliable lineup, helping you turn dream projects into reality. Visit your Kubota dealer today for the best deals of the year. Now through June 30th, 0 down and up to 84 months financing available. And save up to $3,500 off select compact tractors. Sale ends soon. Stop by your local dealer or go to gokubota.com. Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Memorial Day, friends, family, great food is what we look forward to all year. But when your septic system decides it wants to be part of the conversation, yeah, nobody wants that. Getting a pump out now is a smart move before things get, let's just say, uncomfortable. Duck Rooter, Northeast Florida's only master septic contractor. They've seen it all, and they get it right the first time. Right now, get $50 off septic tank pumping. Keep the memories, not the mess. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Welcome back into Helmets and Heels. We are going to continue on some draft talk now that we are getting to know the newest Jacksonville Jaguars a little bit more. We're joined now by Andrew Monaco, voice of the Texas A&M Aggies since 2018. Andrew, thanks for hopping on and chatting a couple new Jags with us.
It is great to be with you. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate your time. Obviously, the Jaguars selected two Aggies in this draft, back-to-back tight end Nate Boerkircher at 56 and then defensive tackle Albert Regis at 81. I want to start with Nate Boerkircher. That's been one of the hot topics around the league here in Jacksonville, everybody. Obviously, labeled more as a blocking tight end, so that's where kind of some criticism came early around the league and even here at this station. But in the moments, Andrew, that he was a part of that passing game, we're hearing a lot of people say he did have sure hands. He was good once the ball was in his hands and after the catch and things like that. You just didn't see a whole lot of it. So I want to start there, just chat a little bit about the offense last year at Texas A&M and why maybe he wasn't getting the ball as much as maybe some of us would have liked to see now that we're talking about him here in Jacksonville.
I know when Mike Elko, when he came in as a transfer, you talk about all the portals, and certain people get excited about certain players, and Mike thought that he was going to be the most under the radar transfer portal addition for exactly those reasons: the blocking ability to be the sixth offensive lineman, the sure hands that he has to be able to catch over the middle. Did not have a lot of catches at Nebraska. The Aggies used the tight end a little bit more, and it was great for someone like Marcel Reed to have someone that sure-handed be there. And I thought the yards after contact as well for Boerkircher. Look, the breakout game was for him, the catch at Notre Dame, to give the Aggies the win in that one. And then you just saw more and more reps by Nate Boerkircher as the season went on. It makes me wonder, had he had more seasons at A&M, how he would develop. I think he's a throwback tight end. I really do. And I don't mean that in a bad way. A lot of times the tight ends are hybrid wide receiver / tight ends. I think he's more of that throwback, and I'm really hoping that he can continue the success he had at Texas A&M there in Jacksonville.
Andrew, great to have you on the show. We appreciate your time. So how good of a blocker is he, and what makes him that kind of blocker, do you think?
Size in that the lower half, right? You've got to have that. And I know the offensive linemen loved having him. I always joke with offensive linemen, are tight ends the sixth offensive lineman? Some will say yes. A lot of them say no, because tight ends don't have to go through everything that offensive line do, but they loved having, especially Demetrius Crownover, loved having him to his right or Trey Zune to his left. I think it's that strength that he possesses. He's quicker than you think. He's never going to be fast, but it's that wide body. And I think there's also the willingness to go along with the ability to block. Like, he understands. And if I can explain to you that what Mike Elko really incorporated these last couple of years, and I think Boerkircher fits perfectly on this, it was called the Men of the 10, and it became one of the most coveted T-shirts on this team. Everybody would know if Le'Veon Moss ran the ball into the end zone or Casey Concepcion went to the end zone. But what were the other 10 doing? And that's what I think Mike really hammered home, that point to this team, that it became every time there was a touchdown, hey, who are we going to single out that made the block or continue to block? And whether it was E.J. Smith or one of the other wide receivers. But Nate Boerkircher was another one of them. Are you going to make that block for your teammate to get in the end zone or that first down? To me, it kind of exemplifies the Nate Boerkircher. What needs to be done? We all want to see the catches, right? But what needs to be done for a team to be successful? I think that is a lot of what Nate Boerkircher can bring.
Andrew Monaco with us, play-by-play voice of Texas A&M. Nate was kind enough to join one of our shows here on 1010XL last week, Jaguars Today, and it was so cool hearing him detail his kind of football story and the 0-star and how he's just never stopped working. And so I wanted to get your thoughts. Have you been able to tell that kind of work ethic come through with him?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something when you have absolutely nothing, right? And there, you can't be entitled. You've got to work for everything, which I think is really fascinating that it's at two schools like Nebraska and at Texas A&M where that absolutely fits. Almost a blue collar mentality, even in 2026 and all the talent that they have had. But I think that's always been the driving force where nothing is expected. Look, even when he came here, he was going to be behind Theo Mellon-Orstrom only because Theo had been in this program longer. But that's how quickly Nate brought up the speed. And I just think with that kind of work ethic, it's when you're never satisfied or you just don't think you've ever made it, that you have to keep working. I think that's the drive that he possesses. And I like, because he doesn't make it out to be, oh, man, look what I've overcome. It's just like, nah, that's part of my DNA. I've always had to work. Now what happened was he had a relationship with one of our tight end coaches growing up in high school, who has since gone with Colin Klein to Kansas State. So that helped as well. And you always need someone to sell that for you, which you bring in, especially if you don't know about someone. And I think that work ethic, and especially with a coach like Mike Elko, I think absolutely brought to the attention. And then not only do you hear about it, but then you get to see it every day on that practice field, only solidifies. And I think that's what Nate was able to do.
Andrew Monaco joining us, voice of the Texas A&M Aggies since 2018. Andrew, I want to flip over to Albert Regis now, and I want to hear just the base of that defense, the defensive line overall, because they did have second most sacks in the SEC this last year, really good at getting to the quarterback up front, and several guys being a piece of that, 2 from Regis this year. Didn't allow many rushing touchdowns at all, so good once they got into the red zone and near the goal line. But chat a little bit overall about that defensive line and where he fit in.
He's one of my favorites. The one thing I don't like about Albert is I don't like having to talk after he talks. That voice is way too deep and way too good. For someone who needs a voice in my business, man, Albert's got, it's bassy and it's on. He's a great story. Let me start with the defensive line. I thought he was one of those anchors for that D line, and this has become a great school for that. The former Terry Price to bring Elijah Robinson back, Sean Spencer, who they called Coach Chaos, for that D line. If you think about it, Texas A&M has had a lot of talent in that middle of the line. So he's learning from the McKinley Jacksons and the guys before him, the Bobby Browns and the Nnamdi Madubuikes. And I think he really learned that lesson. He and Tyler Onyedem really helped Cassius Howe on the end. He's a plugger, but he can also make that stop at the line. But if he's doing his job, then linebackers like Torian York and Scooby Williams or Davian Sanford were able to make those tackles as well. But I just, his story is from an absolute star in high school to having to be on just the squad was hard for him. He did to go to scout team after being a star. And if it wasn't for Layden Robinson, an offensive lineman, I don't know if Albert Regis is still playing. But Layden saw what Albert was all about and what he could do and actually helped him. And then Albert just keep getting better and better and better and putting in those reps where I think he was absolutely valuable. Now, the Aggies will always rotate their linemen because they don't want to wear them down by the fourth quarter. But when they needed that stop, and they would do that, sometimes they would give up yards. Sometimes there wasn't that gap coverage that they needed. But when they got down to that goal line, he was a guy who was going to help make that stop. He's a guy who was going to block a kick if he had to. I have so much appreciation for Albert because he's another one that wasn't a great high school kid. He's just going to hit it big in college. No, he doubted himself for a little bit. And then he has erased all the doubts. And now he's like, okay, let me see if I can play in the NFL. I think having a family also has helped Albert. He'll do anything for his little girl, that's for sure. And she is flat out adorable. But I really think this is a young man that maturity, but also that work ethic. He's another one who has it and doesn't realize that there's not so much that it wasn't given to him, but hey, you know what? I had to be humbled a little bit. And he was, and it was hard and it was slightly depressing for him. But then he realized with that kind of help to be into this position, I'm going to tell you this. I don't know how long he lasts in the NFL. He's going to do absolutely everything because he doesn't feel like this is anything given. He's going to give it his absolute best. I have so much respect for Albert Regis. It's not even funny.
Andrew, can Albert play the 3 technique? Is he more of a strictly a 1 nose tackle, fire plug type guy? Can he penetrate? How is he on double teams? Kind of break it down if you would.
With that strength, and he is really lower body and leverage. I think he's a nightmare for nose guard.
Okay.
I think he's more of a plugger, though, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
And a little bit, I think a little bit. They're talking about the length. I think he's a good tackler. I really do. But I think he's going to be more of that plugger. And there's going to be a reason why other Jaguars are going to be making tackles because Albert's going to be doing his job.
All right, Andrew, when it comes to this year's Texas A&M team, obviously losing 10 players in the NFL draft is a lot to overcome, but you do have the returning quarterback in Marcel Reed. What is your outlook for the Aggies this year? Because I know we have a lot of A&M fans in our area.
You know what's awesome is Mike Elko wants this to happen every year. He doesn't want this to be the aberration. He wants to have that kind of talent, and that's going to come from recruiting the right players who stay in your program. It's going to be from portal guys like Casey Concepcion, who came in. Mario Craver is now going to be the guy. Isaiah Horton comes in from Alabama as wide receiver. And then I'm interested to see that rapport with Marcel Reed. this isn't okay. Now we need to rebuild. That's not what Mike Elko wants to do. And now, and let's be honest, the expectations change for this team. They are a college football playoff team. Now you need to go do it again and do it consistently. So that's going to be the little bit of pressure. Like, I like what happened from year 1 to year 2. They talked about finish, right? Because they didn't finish 2 years ago in November, and they finished for most of November, but they didn't finish that month, nor did they finish in the playoffs. And to me, anytime you can have a little chip on your shoulder, a little bit harder, we'll see. I think in that back end, bringing in Ricky Gibson from Tennessee, I think is big. I think that back end, he's a former safeties guy, Mike Elko, so that's always going to be a key. And the Texas A&M, the defense is always something special. But I'm excited about the next step for Marcel Reed. I really am. I think he grew as a quarterback, and I don't think he's ever satisfied either. And I think he understands all that it takes to be QB1, and I mean all that it takes, that you can't have a day off on Tuesday or Thursday. You get judged on the Saturdays, I get it, but it's that preparation. Learn to be that QB. You're going to have to reconfigure that offensive line. That was together, but they went out. Mike does a really good job of, okay, we're deficient in this. Let's go out and address our needs. Instead of saying, it'll work itself out, that's not Coach Elko. So I like that they're able to do that. I like that their expectations, I know the season's going to be hard. They're also going to have a little bit of a target on their back. I'm not sure that's a bad thing. If you want to be one of the best in college football, you have to do it, but you have to be consistent and do it year in and year out. And I think that's what Mike Elko is building.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think that the SEC, too, is also they're looking for a national championship since the Big Ten's kind of taken that over recently. But, Andrew, we really appreciate your time. Super excited to cheer for a couple Aggies down here in Jacksonville.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you.
All right.
By the way, A&M has a starting defensive end. TJ Searcy came from Florida.
Mhm.
You mentioned
Yeah, I
Scooby
remember.
Williams went from Florida to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Stop stealing my Gators, okay? Please.
I think he was a
that
undrafted
money.
guy, but I do think someone picked him up. I think he
Scooby?
was
Yeah.
one of the undrafted
Vikings,
free.
I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I like
Because
hearing
they had
about both
10
those guys.
drafted, but I think another 5 that got picked up by
Yeah.
teams
Like
after.
free agent.
Yeah.
So that goes to show you once again, poor coaching. Poor coaching, but they at least were talented players. All right,
Yeah.
more to do on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
If you're thinking about getting a new roof sometime this year, Endless Summer Roofing can help. I'm Claudia, owner of Endless Summer Roofing. Stronger materials, expert installation, real peace of mind. A new roof isn't just an upgrade. It's the primary source of protection for your family home. Visit endlesssummerroofing.com for a free inspection today, and I'll make sure you're ready for tomorrow. Endless Summer Roofing. Protecting your home from Florida's endless summers.
What's happening, beautiful people? E.T. here. Let me tell you about a little something that's happening right here in my side of town in Fleming Island. Encore Research Group is advancing the future of medicine through clinical research studies focused on weight loss, diabetes, hypertension, and more. Their team of multi-specialty doctors are proudly serving folks in Fleming Island, Green Coast Springs, and Middleburg. If you ever wondered whether a research study might be right for you, find out at EncoreDocs.com to see if you qualify. Encore Research Group. The future of medicine starts here.
The Jacksonville Waves tip-off opening night, May 15th at 7 p.m. in the brand-new Upshot League at 5-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. Experience the excitement of women's professional basketball and be a part of history. Get your tickets now at wavesupshot.com.
It's a Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Backed by Morgan & Morgan. For the people. Dial pound law.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a fight for the last slice of pizza? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. Out of my whole family, my mom was the most impressed with the closets we had installed from Closets by Design. And lucky for her, they're running a Mother's Day special, so she can finally get organized without breaking the bank. Closets by Design creates creates custom solutions for every lifestyle and every budget. Call this week to schedule your free in-home design consultation and get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and free installation. For design ideas, make an appointment with Mom to go see their brand new showroom today. Call 904-878-9393 or online, closetsbydesign.com. Closets by Design. Imagine her home totally organized.
Hacker here with an opportunity. Drop 40 pounds by the 4th. You can do it. I dropped my first 40 in 6 weeks. Hayes did it. Dempsey, Amber, and thousands of others have done it. 40 by the 4th. Awaken. 180weightloss.com.
At the First Coast YMCA, there's no place like this place, with programs and experiences that will bring your whole family together. Summer will be here before we know it, and Y Summer Day Camp registration is now open. Visit your local Y to secure your child's spot early for a season full of memories and adventure. Don't delay. Day camps will fill up. There's no place like this place, so visit your local Y to sign up or online at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Ready to join the team? The Jaguars and our stadium partners are hosting a job fair Wednesday, May 20th. We're looking for enthusiastic new faces to serve as ushers, ticket takers, concessionaires, security, and more. Stop by the Prime Osborne Convention Center and apply on May 20th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Professional dress, a pen, and a smile are all you need. There are 1,000 spots to be filled for the 2026 season, so join us and be a part of the Jaguars game day team.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Thanks to Andrew Monaco for joining us to talk about the Texas A&M Aggies that are now Jaguars, a.k.a. Jaggies. I was just looking at the weather. Speaking of the Jaguars, that's what they posted, not me. I didn't come up with it, and whether you like it or not. And it looks like there will be some rain starting Friday evening, a little bit of rain Saturday morning. But by the time the Jaguars get on the practice field Saturday afternoon, should be just cloudy, no rain. So that at least is good news.
Yeah, 55-minute practice, I think.
A very short practice. We'll take that. As,
here they are. See ya.
As media, never bad thing.
Take a picture.
But yeah, it'll be fun to see the rookies on the field Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Certainly looking forward to that. Speaking of former Jaguars, I'm sure y'all saw that veteran edge rusher Dante Fowler Jr. is signing with the Seahawks on a one-year deal worth up to $5 million. Of course, he was the number 3 overall pick here. Back in 2015, I was working that draft for 1010XL, and my job, and they had it in the stadium then. So my job was to stand with a microphone as close to the speaker as humanly possible so that the radio broadcast could get the pick live being made live. And so there I was and standing, and it was a mixed reaction, I'd say. Like, nobody was really terribly upset, but I think a lot of people were like, taking him that high? But either way, he's certainly made a decent career out of it, for sure.
Yeah, I always liked Dante Fowler, minus, the off-the-field stuff here in Jacksonville. Yeah. But on the field, he was always violent. Mm-hmm. I mean, when his rookie year, he got hurt.
Yeah,
the second year, that hurt him. I mean, obviously, that was like the first day of pads, wasn't it? He tore his ACL.
It was before that because it was during the Players' Championship. Because
it was off.
I always remember I was at the Players' Championship, and I heard Fowler tore his ACL, and I thought that was Ricky Fowler. And right after that, I saw Ricky swing his driver, and I was like, Ricky seems okay, or unless he's still playing with a torn ACL. And they were like,
it was
Dante Fowler. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He can still rush the passer. He did really well in 24 with Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He's played with Dallas. He's been around the league a little bit. He arrives with bad intentions, which I love. I mean, because he even from when early days, even before he was doing anything with getting after the QB, he would rock some dudes out there in the run game. He was very, very violent. So good for him. I mean, playing that long, playing that position that long. I think he's got, 57 sacks. Not going to give him 100 like I did Jason Babin. But somewhere in that range, that's, hey, man, he's had a good career. And to go to Seattle when they've lost, Boye Mafe, a couple other guys, they need him to at least fill a void and
get into the rotation.
Yeah,
for
he'll
sure.
get into the rotation.
It's hard to believe that's the same draft that Eric Armstead was drafted. For some reason,
Wow, no
Armstead
kidding.
seems older to me
Lot
than
older.
Dante
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
But it's also, I'm sure, part of it is Eric arrived here already a little bit older, too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think with Dante, one of the things too is he's had a couple seasons with the double digits, but for the most part, it's been 3, 4, 5 sacks, and so. But he's always been kind of a more rotational piece. But he's really good at getting the ball out. He has a ton of forced fumbles in his career because he's really good at just kind of playing to the whistle type of guy. He's that type of player, and so I do feel like it's very fitting for Seattle in terms of Tommy. We talked a lot about the way they won the Super Bowl this year is having 7 guys up front that can do a lot of different things. Number one, but you rotate him, and I feel like you can plug him and play him pretty easily up there, and you could expect 4 or 5 sacks out of him this year with that.
Yeah, I think so. He'll fit right in. He's still got enough athleticism, fire, all that good stuff. So good for him, man. Hey, the longer you can play, to get those paychecks, get that extra year, in your pension and all that good stuff. So keep playing as long as you can. But I think that's a nice fit for him to at least come off the bench and get after the QB. We a little surprised about Andrew Monaco's assessment of Regis not being more of a run plugger, fire plug, not as much of a moving the pocket, or collapsing the pocket, if you will.
Well,
that's
and
what all
that's
the draft analysts have
Yeah,
said.
that's what when we had Sikkim on, because I said the whole conversation this year is adding more pass rush, and when you talk about what they did in the draft, is there anything? And he kind of was like, Regis is more of a run stopper. He's not somebody that I don't think you can expect to get a whole lot when it comes to getting to the quarterback. He had 2 sacks this year, but previous to that, he wasn't really doing much in that area whatsoever. And I do think the Texas A&M defense this year kind of helped. There was just a lot of guys getting sacked, so you kind of get lucky in those sense when you have a bunch of people that are doing it and can go after the quarterback and push them out of the pocket, and then you can get to some of these guys or push them into you. And so I think you were seeing some of that at A&M, but it is that's why I think a lot of people thought it was an interesting pick, because it was like you were good against the run already. That wasn't the area that people felt like you needed an upgrade. But with that being said, you also felt like you had no depth there in the interior.
Nose, right?
Yeah,
Especially behind Devon.
Yeah.
I mean, behind Devon, you don't really have a true nose. So
And
if
that's
he's
what
that.
Andrew did say Cassius Howell was helped greatly by those guys in the interior. And
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's
that
certainly one
always
thing we've discussed ad nauseum is what can fix the pass rush here, or at least increase the pass rush. It's not like it was completely broken, but it certainly wasn't where it needed to be. If interior pass rush, for sure, the Russian cover, like we talked about yesterday with Logs, like if the secondary can improve and be much stickier in coverage, that's going to help for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to collapse the
Trayvon.
pocket. You got to collapse from the interior. That'll be a healthy Eric. That'll be hopefully Devon, Albert.
Yeah.
Yeah. They certainly are trying.
Yeah.
We'll see what that material
But that's key, right? And that's what they were missing. The edge guys could get there, but a lot of times the interior guys weren't pushing. And all that quarterback had to do was step in or step up and step out and, extend a play or make it first down or what have you. You got to have those inside guys, collapse in that pocket so he's got nowhere to go. You corral his ass inside that pocket, and there's nowhere for him to escape.
That's why people had the Jaguars penciled in to be taking a pass rushing defensive tackle. But again, to Logs' point yesterday, and we've talked about this too, sometimes those defensive players, they don't have the pass rush moves that they're going to develop at the NFL level until they get some more development in NFL coaching. Right. And so you're allowed to learn on the job. That's certainly
no doubt. And they will. They'll definitely learn better technique.
Right.
For sure.
But when the Jaguars took a blocking tight end over maybe a defensive tackle that could get to the quarterback, that's why people were left scratching their heads and just wondering why.
Yeah. I still think that they would have loved to grab Peter Woods if they could have and move up for him too. I bet you that was a conversation. He would have been a big difference maker because he'd have given you both stop the run and penetrate the pass. I think he's going to be a really, really, and to go to Kansas City, my gosh, what What a treat for them and a treat for him, to learn in that defense. They're going to be back. Kansas City's going to be back. If you don't think they're going to be back, you're crazy. Mahomes is going to be back. They're going to be in the running once again. They might have had a bad year last year, but that might have just been a blip. I don't think that's the start of the demise of the Kansas City
I think
Chiefs.
a lot of the AFC teams that struggled last year, you would expect the Ravens and the Bengals and the Chiefs and some of those teams to be back on track, healthy quarterbacks and other things. You knew you had to fix your defense, and you had to fix a lot of things in Cincinnati, and so they tried to fix as much as possible. But with Joe Burrow healthy, you immediately have someone who can throw 40 touchdowns, and so I do think that's a lot. And then the teams that were already good down the stretch, how much better are they getting? And the Jaguars are in that conversation, obviously, but the Broncos are in that conversation, the Patriots are in that conversation. Some of those things going on, so that's why the AFC all of a sudden it could look very different this year compared to what we saw last year, just because of health alone.
Yeah, I think ditto to the Ravens too. I think the Ravens are going to.
I thought you were about to put the Raiders in this conversation.
No.
I was like, oh, big Fernando Mendoza fan. Yeah, if we were to bet money, I wouldn't be afraid to say the Patriots might not make the postseason this year, or if they make it, they're not going to go nearly as far. And that's not a Mike Vrabel only thing. That's just watching them in the postseason going, this team got really lucky in order to be here, facing a Broncos team without Bo Nix. Like, I just don't know that this team will be back, but certainly we shall see. All right, Tommy's Take awaits on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 10 to next on 92.5 FM.
Engines roar and tempers flare.
He'll make the move. They're crashing behind him. Elliott's in the wall.
This Sunday at Watkins Glen.
They're wrecking everywhere.
Powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower, 1010 XL.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey, Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, locally owned and operated right here on the First Coast for nearly 20 years. Known for reliability, quality craftsmanship, and professional service, Armstrong Fence handles it all, from big projects like stadiums and schools to your very own backyard. Basically, they build a wicked strong fence and they do it right the first time. When you need a fence, trust Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday, protected by Morgan & Morgan.
Hi, this is Dr. George Bari, an orthopedic surgeon who is fellowship trained in sports medicine. If you are a young athlete or a weekend warrior, I treat you with the care and expertise that is needed to diagnose and treat your injury. Come see me at Bari Orthopedics to get the care that you need.
Be sure and check out the expertise from Dr. George Bari and the entire staff at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com. And follow Doc on Instagram at Dr.GeorgeBari.
My name is Savannah, and I was looking for a way to track my fitness results in a tangible way. I chose DexaFit Jacksonville because I wanted real, measurable results. After one quick DEXA scan, I knew my exact body fat, muscle mass, visceral fat, and even bone density. No guessing, just data. It gave me a clear baseline so I can now set my goals and track my progress with a lot of confidence. If you want real insight into your body, I highly recommend DexaFit Jacksonville. Book your scan today at jacksonville.dexafit.com.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Ackerman Cancer Center is the community leader in cancer treatment, offering advanced proton therapy treatment for cancers near vital organs or complex, hard-to-reach areas. Take charge of your well-being with AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Right now, Renewal by Andersen is giving you the power to choose. For a limited time, pick the offer that works best for you. Take 20% off your entire window and door project or enjoy 24 months of special financing. That's no money down, no payments, and no interest for 2 full years. Our energy-efficient windows and doors keep your home cooler in the Florida heat, reduce drafts, and can help lower your energy bills. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical. providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trust a company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Joe C. for Blossman Gas. They've been providing hometown service in the comforts of propane to home and businesses since 1951. Imagine movie night spent around glowing gas fireplace logs, cookouts in the backyard with your propane grill, or laundry done faster with your gas dryer. Blossman has a wide variety of gas appliances to fit your needs. Propane delivery, gas appliances, and a full service team. Blossman Gas is your local company for everything propane. Blossman Gas, log on, blossmangas.com, and check out the Blossman difference.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It is RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. By the way, the Jaguars promotion staff or creative staff, I don't know which department it falls under, but have y'all seen these videos of yesterday? They had a Mandalorian out in front of the Miller Electric Center.
Yeah. They did had a DJ.
They had a DJ, recently. Today they had a mariachi band when they showed up. Like, I don't know where this extra budget's coming from. Yeah, but I love it.
It is fun.
Right. It's
Travis
exciting.
hopped on and started DJing.
Yeah.
It was like very Travis of him.
Yeah. And my cousin who loves Jags, but also loves house music, like that kind of stuff. She was like, whoever came up with this idea needs a raise. I was like, I'll be sure to let them know. Again, I don't know which department it is that's spending this money, but it's fantastic content for us to view.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you get any of that when you were a player, Tom?
No, we didn't get any of that. We tried to get the rookies to sing. That was about it.
Okay.
That was our entertainment, I think.
I think we should start doing that around these parts. Anytime we have interns
That'd be so funny.
new
Get them
employees,
singing.
make sure they sing or dance. We'll give them the option.
Yeah. Okay. How about sing and dance at the same time?
Yeah, both
that
of them.
is a high, like a
tough.
high requirement.
Some of the rookies do that. They'll do both.
Yeah.
Some
Depends
are
on
like,
their
you can
rhythm.
tell her, like, I do not want to do this.
Yeah. The guys, they're like, no, don't get me over there.
Because they know
Got
that
two
at
left
some
feet.
point in time it's going to
Gonna
be
go
put out
viral.
on social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ay. All right, let's find out what Tom has a take on today.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com. Or dial pound law. That's all.
All right, my take on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, a Morgan & Morgan Tuesday here on Helmets and Heels, is kind of adding on to having Lagerman on. We were talking about Dante Fowler, edge rushers, and what's going to happen here in Jacksonville with that third edge position. Who will it be? The candidates are as follows: Danny Strigow, B.J. Green II, Wesley Williams, Zach Durfee, Jalen McCloud. Don't forget about McLeod. Don't forget about him. And Dennis Gardeck, who will be the third guy off the bench to rush the passer. Now, Loggs kind of said, Gardeck, he likes him, but it didn't sound like he gave him that much of an endorsement. I say move Trayvon down and let number 47 rush that passer. I think out of all these guys, now granted, I haven't seen Durfee or Williams yet, so it's not fair. McLeod only a little bit, but we'll have to see what he can do. B.J. Green II can definitely rush the passer. Strigow's more of a run stuffing, but can get to the QB type defensive end. But that, guys, might be one of the most exciting competitions in camp this year. Who's going to be that third edge rusher for the Jags? And that's my take today, brought to our friends at Morgan & Morgan, ForThePeople.com, and on your cell, pound law. That's all.
And are we looking at it through too narrow of a lens? Could it be, like we've talked about the Seahawks defense so much, how they have multiple guys with at least 6 sacks? Like, could it be that the Jaguars are looking at it in the terms of edge by committee? We talk about running back by committee, but edge by committee, and they want each of those guys to have at least 3 to 4 sacks?
But not all of them. No, I mean, I doubt they'd all get that. But, well, here's the thing. With Seattle, it's not just one position. It's multiple positions that they move around. You know what I mean? So a little bit different there. But it doesn't have to be just one guy. But if you had to pick one guy, Who do you think it would be out of that 6 guys?
I like Project X, Zach Durfee. No, I feel like
Whatever.
we've seen Gardeck and we've seen BJ Green, I
Yeah.
think, have more success,
Yeah.
obviously, in the NFL. The other two haven't. And then Strigau's better against the run.
Now, we haven't seen these other guys. Like, you know, Williams might be he might be a natural bender. You know, like you might be like, wow, that guy actually looks pretty good, you know? So we don't know yet. So it's not totally fair. I agree with you. I think it's more Gardeck and BJ Green the second now.
Yeah, and I mean, Gardeck was like top 8 in pass rush win rate last year when he had the opportunity. So that's why I kind of asked Logs that yesterday. Do you want to see more of that? He said he sees him more as a Sam linebacker, so not on the field as much. To your point, Tommy, it didn't seem like he leaned into that as much as using him in that role as much as we've talked about on this show. So it will be interesting, but I do think that BJ Green, I think, is going to be, to me at this point in time, if you were to ask me to guess who that third would be, it would, without seeing anybody right now in camp and what's going on, I would probably lean towards that just by reps we were seeing last year towards the end of the year.
Yeah. And think about this. All those guys, not that we can't have him because he's gone, or Trey Hendrickson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think of that different strategy. Like, you could have said, okay, well, let's just go get Trey.
Mm-hmm.
He upgrades our deal. We'll keep the other 2. We got 3 now. They're going to be the 3 of the best. You know, like, what a trio.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, you go there. Let's go younger.
I don't know if you
Let's
can
go
pay
through the
Trey
draft.
and extend Trayvon.
Well, you might not.
With
Yeah, you might have to
salary
wait
cap
a year
issues that
for
they
that
had.
one. You know
That's what
I mean?
I'm thinking.
Yeah. And it will, I mean, there's still guys out there, and Log said he doesn't expect anybody to come in and to be added to that room right now, at least. What if trade deadline comes and you're not seeing what you want out of your pass rush room? Do you make a move at that point? And that's when those conversations come along. But there's still a lot. There's Joey Bosa's out there, and Leonard Floyd's and Cam Jordan, some older that you may be able to get on a better deal if you really feel like you're getting through camp and you're like, it's just not here.
Yeah.
There's still guys floating out there.
Yeah, but Bosa he gets hurt too much, so
I
that
don't
might
love
be the
Joey
problem.
Bosa,
but Jordan, like that
Yeah.
guy, he would be a beast on this team.
Yeah.
You kidding me? I know he's older, but he can still. Problem is, he wants to play a lot, but maybe he doesn't. Maybe you could say, "Hey, Cam, why don't you come here and help us out a little bit? We'll give you some money, and you come in when we need you." But he's a tone setter, that guy for sure.
But obviously, what we've heard, what we've seen, actions-wise, like this regime wants to give space to those younger guys.
They do, yeah, develop.
To develop and not necessarily plug in a veteran guy. But yeah, I think it is a fascinating conversation because last year in training camp, every single day we said, well, these edge rushers cannot be blocked. Like, the offensive line is getting dominated by these two, and so good luck to this offensive line when it comes to the season. And then the season started, and the edge guys weren't getting any sacks, and the offensive line was doing a great job as far as run blocking is concerned. So even if we see the edge guys playing really well in training camp, I'm going to still say, well, I need to see it in the regular season before I truly
we
believe
learned
it.
our lesson.
Yeah.
We did.
Correct.
And even beyond the first 5 or 6 weeks, because that's the O-line was like, oh, wow, they're surprising. They look good. Their run blocking's well. And then the second half of the season, everything kind of fell apart on their end, too. So I do think that's part of it is you don't get to hit enough in camp now. So you really don't. I think it takes 4 to 5 weeks for you really to see what product you have across the field. And that's not just in Jacksonville. That's everywhere. You're seeing a lot of teams, especially offensively, have slower starts in the NFL now. And I think it's a large part and due to that. Like the quarterback, you can't touch them. So how much, if you're like having pretend sacks, like, oh, that would have been a sack. No. Well, I mean, really, what does it look like? And so that's why we're seeing from some of the best teams, it takes 4 weeks or so
And
to
think
get
of how
going.
many QBs escape.
Yeah.
Because you try to grab them, and they, you can't simulate that in practice on air.
We're going to need to let, not Trevor, but another quarterback get sacked. Like legit sacked.
Just get hit, okay?
That way they don't just get the pressure and consider that a sack.
There you go.
All right, more to do on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
We celebrate freedom. We celebrate life. We celebrate Jacksonville. 1010XL.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday
is served by
Morgan & Morgan.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater Irrigation
And drainage too.
M stands for the month of May and Mom. 1010XL helps you say thanks with gift ideas from
Kuhn Flowers and Beard's Diamonds.
Get great Mother's Day gift ideas now at 1010XL.com.
Imagine this. You've got the burgers ready in a backyard full of guests. And folks, that's a strong lineup. But a clogged drain on a holiday, that can change everything in a hurry. Before kickoff, make sure your plumbing is ready to go. Call Duck Duck Rooter. They've got experience, honest pricing, and a team you can count on. And right now, get your main sewer line cleaned, plus a camera inspection for just $129. Outside cleanout is required because the only thing you want overflowing this weekend is that cooler. So when you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Out here, we hear your speed before we see you. Wind that rocks us.
Cars drifting toward us.
This isn't just a road, it's our workplace. Slow down.
Keep your distance.
Stay focused. Your choices matter.
Let's get everyone home safely.
Learn more about the Florida Department of Transportation's Target Zero initiative at WorkZoneSafetyFL.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentist and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can give to a child.
This is a job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
If you've ever sat in a dealership waiting room, you know the coffee's cold, the magazines are old, and your oil change takes forever. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, it's completely different. No appointment, no waiting room. You stay in your car, and the techs get it done in 15 minutes. That's why Valvoline holds a 4.7 national rating, and Forbes named them #1 quick lube in America for customer service. Don't waste your day at a dealership. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, easy, done.
There's no better way to heal that foot and mouth problem than by sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers. If your foot gets stuck in your mouth, extract it with a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers for over 75 years.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. Tomorrow, the Jacksonville Dolphins men's lacrosse team will play in their first ever NCAA tournament game, a play-in game versus Robert Morris University. The winner will take on number 2 Notre Dame in the first round Sunday at noon. The women's team, also in the tournament, will face Colorado in round 1 Friday at 6 o'clock. It's 83 degrees at 3:02. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Has all the music today been a little bit Spanish themed and Mexican themed today, RJ? Yes.
Shaking his head, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I've
feel
picked
the
up
vibe.
on it and I love it. When I was a producer, I always had music themes. I'm not sure that Dempsey loved them, but
Yeah.
that's besides
okay.
the point. I still always had a music theme, and it was a lot of
Yeah.
fun for me to make them guess.
It's okay.
All right,
Cinco de Ocho.
That's right.
Cinco de
Cinco de
Ocho,
Ocho.
baby. That's the music you want tonight.
In case you missed it in our first segment, Tom was talking about how they're going to celebrate Cinco de Mayo on Friday, which is the 8th. And he said, on Cinco de Ocho.
Yeah.
And
No.
It was
5
supposed
of
to be.
8.
It's Kelsey's birthday. We're just having Mexican. We're not celebrating Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, we know what you mean.
Mayo de
You know,
Ocho.
hey.
Ocho de Mayo.
Arriba.
You've got a lot during this period of time, though, like multiple birthdays, anniversaries.
gosh.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
busy
in
for you.
April, May for you.
May, and then dance.
Yeah.
That's the spring, and then we still have the recital, and then they have nationals. Yeah, so it's it continues rock and roll. Keep dancing.
Camp
get
coming
it.
up,
Dance.
too.
Yeah, the time of birthdays. My cousin's oldest child, her daughter, turned 9 last week. Our friend's birthday is today, Cinco de Mayo. She turns 9. And then Roya's birthday was on Sunday. She turned 3. So
Yeah.
2 9-year-olds and a 3-year-old all within a span of less than a week.
'Tis the season.
That's right. All right. Lauren's Lane is going to piggyback off of Max's update.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
We have a few people in the building who love lacrosse. They are lacrosse experts. So wanted to mention this thanks to one Trevor Lawrence, who went and spoke to
I
the
saw that.
Ponte Vedra lacrosse boys team. They were just having their regular old meeting for ahead of the semifinals game, I should say, and pregame meal, things like that. And then Trevor shows up. And I just think that's awesome. Liam Cohen gave a pep talk to the Bishop Kenny girls basketball team ahead of their state championship run. And then Trevor going to speak to this Ponte Vedra boys lacrosse team. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It speaks to the character of both of them, but it's also just awesome when you're talking about high schoolers getting to have true celebrities
Oh, yeah.
walk in and share some advice and some things with them when it comes to lacrosse.
We're a lacrosse city now.
That's right. We are
Yeah.
a lacrosse
Yeah.
city. We're
Oh,
part
yeah.
football, part basketball, part baseball, and part lacrosse for sure. When it comes to high school, Max rattled off the college lacrosse when it comes to locally. So in boys lacrosse and girls lacrosse, we have the semifinals coming up, and we have schools in both of them when it comes to Class 2A and Class 1A. So for the first semifinals, when it comes to the boys, we have Ponte Vedra taking on Winter Park. That is on May 7th, so that is 2 days from now, on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. And then the other state semifinal bowls, and we talked to Ray Cardacelli about this as well, in the Class 1A state championship on Thursday at noon, taking on Benjamin. They are from Palm Beach Gardens. And then for the girls, in Class 2A, we have Ponte Vedra taking on Vero Beach. So that's Max's high school. In one of the semifinals, that one's on Friday at 7:30 p.m. And then in the Class 1A, Episcopal takes on Lake Highland Prep from Orlando. That one's on Friday at noon. So just the fact that we have that many local teams still participating in the lacrosse state championships is awesome.
Absolutely. A lot of great athletes playing lacrosse. I mean, you got to be athletic to play that sport.
For sure.
Man. You're in the open field, trying to defend, trying to get around, shaking that thing like so the ball don't pop out. It's crazy.
Shaking that thing. I'm back to a mariachi band.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to kind of play it like that, right? You got to
Correct.
move that thing around, you know, so it doesn't fall out.
Get your wrist flexible. Absolutely.
Yep.
I've been watching this show. It just made me think of this, though. I've been watching this show called Outlander. And so it's like it goes back and it's based in like 1740s, 1750s. And they play a sport in this show that's it's like, it made me think of it the other day, Tommy, because you were like, oh, it kind of reminds me, it's like hockey in a way and the aggressiveness and how they hit and kind of that type of thing. But they're really aggressive in this. And I have to go back and look more into it. I'm like, did this originate from certain things? Because it does look like a mixture of lacrosse and hockey, but they're like very violent in it.
Yeah.
I mean, hit harder than hockey. Like they could pick each other up, like almost tackle each other in the sport.
Oh.
So I don't know exactly. It's a Scottish sport because it's based in Scotland. But the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, man, this looks brutal.
Yeah.
But it is a combination of those two things. And so I was like, I wonder if they kind of combined those and made hockey or
Well, they
lacrosse
could
or
have made
whatever the
field
case
hockey.
study.
They do that.
And it kind of was
Was a little
filled.
bit.
It was kind of, but like I said, they literally, I mean, it was, I don't even know how to explain it, but
I
they
don't
would
know
like,
Good.
They would just full on tackle, like lift and tackle, but then they would hit it kind of like the field hockey, how it looks, but they would also pick up the ball at certain times. So it was a combination of multiple things, or I guess things now are a combination of that. They took pieces of it. But
field hockey, you got to bend over like way too much the whole time.
Yeah,
like, that would kill your back. After a while. Like,
So
why
a
can't you
quick
make
Google
them
search
sticks
says
a little longer?
the game is called shinty, and it's a fast-paced game played with curved sticks and a ball, often described as a cross between field hockey and lacrosse. An ancient Highland game similar to Irish hurling. So there you go.
brutal, whatever it is.
Shinty.
That's the name of it. One college football note that I came across, I had totally forgotten that FSU pursued DJ Lagway. That FSU was interested when it came to a new quarterback. Obviously, this season, we know they ended up
After
with
this season?
Ashton Daniels. After this past season ended, I had totally forgotten that FSU was bringing in DJ Lagway, Anthony Colandrea, and then Ashton Daniels. Obviously, they ended up with Daniels. Colandrea ended up at Nebraska. But I was reading through the ESPN College Football has basically ranking every single team after the offseason in their conferences. FSU was ranked 9th in the ACC, which is obviously very low. Florida was ranked 11th in the SEC, obviously very low. I thought Florida might be a little higher just based off of the coach change alone. But either way, and quarterback change too. But for FSU, they went into, if you're a college football fan, definitely go check it out. But they went into what went right, what went wrong when it comes to the offseason. And that I read a total of 33 scholarship players have exited via the portal this season, including some of their best players. They've got one guy that went to Ohio State, one guy that went to Ole Miss, one guy that went to Texas, and then several of the pass catchers went within the ACC, places like Louisville and SMU. So 33 players total, but that many different ones leaving for much, obviously, better programs at this point in time. And so then it went on to talk about, the DJ Lagway pursuit, and I was like, wait, I remembered it, but I had totally forgotten that was a path that they tried to go down.
Yeah, I remember because I remember tweeting like, do it. I'm here for the drama of the quarterback going from Florida to Florida State. And then, like, if it doesn't work, it's kind of like, oh, Norvell screws up again. And so there's that drama. But if it does work, then it's like, haha, we made DJ Lagway good. So I felt like either way, it would have been from an outside fan, not a fan of either of those teams. It would have made fun storylines for, this upcoming season as we're going in. But yeah, I mean, Florida State losing that many players, you initially are like, whoa, they're obviously not doing something right if you can't keep the guys. But at the same time, they weren't good. So it's like, I mean, how great of players are you losing if you weren't able to win very many football games? And so we'll see. But I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's just at the point now where you kind of are just waiting for things to be worse so Norvell gets fired. Like, I feel like that's what it kind of has come to at this point in time, to where the buyout feels worth it because it's that bad.
Yeah, the alum under like Bobby Bowden just like going crazy. Like, what are you talking about? 33. I mean, now you know why we need, or these colleges need a general manager. I mean, think about that. 33 scholarship players you got to replace. And I know the portal makes it a little bit easier, don't get me wrong, but still, you got to manage all that. I can see why coaches don't want any part of that. That would bother the heck out of me. You know what I mean? Now I got to go through this, the portal, and find these guys. And it's nice that you have like almost like a personnel department now at the collegiate level. Not everybody does, but a lot do.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at how many have.
They do.
I feel like added that within just the last 2 years.
You need it. Well, BC just added. Dave Caldwell just got there, right, in Florida. So it's more popular these days. So
I think they've
get
had
it.
people in that player procurement type of things, the player personnel in colleges. They just didn't call them general managers.
They had a division.
In the last few years,
They had the division, yeah. I think Belichick's guy set it off. Remember, he was like the first GM. And then
North Carolina had one of the first announced GMs. And I do think there have been people that have had those roles. They just weren't specifically a general manager. And then now, so many schools have decided they have to have it.
Yeah, I feel like you almost have to title it in that way now because they're dealing with money and, between the portal and NIL and the active roster and like all of the different things. Before it was kind of like, you're getting like some portal guys and you have to figure out who's going to sit and you're dealing with recruits, but you weren't dealing with the money aspect and what it's turned into now at this point in time. So you almost need somebody whose title signifies the importance of what they are because it's becoming more and more important on all of the programs.
Yeah, I want my coach focused on recruiting and coaching. The rest, I wouldn't want him to be even bothered with.
Yeah, it is interesting. I've seen a couple different comments from John Summerall, Florida's head coach, talking about how he wishes they still had the spring transfer portal. And it makes sense for a first-year head
New
coach.
coaches, yeah.
Like any existing coach, you don't want that portal in the spring because then your players that aren't going to win jobs potentially are going to maybe leave and go elsewhere. But as a first-year head coach, now you've evaluated what you have and what you need. But obviously, it doesn't.
I wonder if it would change at some point, like the NFL does, to where the new coaches teams get to go back a little bit earlier. And so I wonder if eventually maybe they have. I don't know how exactly they would do it, but it's something to where it's like if it's a first-year coach, you can't let them just go crazy and go steal everybody's people. So there'd have to be some sort of rules, but something to help those just because it is. I mean, you're coming in and you sometimes don't even know exactly what is on your roster. And then by the time you're hired.
Yeah. Look, whether they add it back or not, just make kids only do it once. I don't care what you go spring, fall, whatever.
Yeah, the problem is
you get one time.
There's too many coaches that are not new right? So they're not going to ever want it to come back.
Agree with that.
Yeah, the minority would be the new coaches. All right, more to do on the other side. I want to talk a little bit about Travis Hunter. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Radio professionals.
Facial.
That's just me not being able to speak.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, I've only been doing this for 20 years. Achievers dash for...
That's ridiculous.
1010XL.
One more time, I promise. Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Hey, Jacksonville, did you know termite swarms are active right now? And once they get inside, damage can happen fast. Termites don't knock. They silently attack the structure of your home, leaving behind costly repairs and long-term headaches. Lauren Brooks here. Protect what you've worked hard for with the proven protection homeowners trust. Terminix it with advanced termite treatment and prevention solutions. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule your free termite inspection online.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Covered by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we know not every injury happens on game day. Sometimes it's rolling your ankle, weekend yard work, or just playing catch with your kids. That's why we built a team of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, experts in everything from knees and shoulders to spine and sports injuries in hand. Whether you're chasing championships or chasing your dog, we've got you. Learn more at osjax.com. That's osjax.com.
Cooking with Prisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rollie.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Franchi Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
You know Zero Res. Hey, Hicken here. The zero residue carpet cleaner that leaves your carpets truly clean with no dirt-attracting soaps or harsh chemicals. Don't risk it with the other guys. And skip the DIY disasters that leave your carpets soaked for days. You can do more harm than good. Keep that mud outside where it belongs, not trapped in your carpets. This month, get 25% off all services. Hardwood, tile, LVP, carpets, air ducts, and more. Call 904-287-5727 or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Mention me or ask for the 1010XL special.
Don't we all owe it to Mom? I know I do. Jeff Pryor with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
I know I owe it all to my mom.
And me too. Floor your mom this Mother's Day and transform her home with exquisite new floors or surprise her with a brand new glass or screen enclosure for the outdoor space she's always wanted.
I want to surprise my mom and me too.
That's so sweet. Love you guys.
You guys are awesome. Visit our websites or one of our showrooms today to experience the Lifetime difference and ask about our Mother's Day specials.
Lifetime Flooring.
Lifetime Flooring. 1010XL. 92.5 FM.
Hey, it's Greg. When you work at this radio station, you tend to hear the Awaken 180 stories all the time from Hacker, Matt, Amber, and tons of our listeners. Well, for years I've been saying I need to do it, but I can do it on my own. Or let me just get through the season, I'll do it next month. And you know what? That hasn't been working. So when they said lose 40 by the 4th, something clicked. So I did it. And last week, I started the Awaken 180 Lose 40 by the 4th plan. And I'm telling you, it's even easier than I expected. I've got my coach, Mandy, so I'm not guessing anymore. And they lay everything out in a concrete plan guiding my steps. And for me, this is bigger than just losing weight. I want to move better, feel better. I want to walk parks and music festivals without feeling it the next day. Just live better. So right now, this is the window. Lose 40 by the 4th, but you've got to start now to get there. I've stopped making excuses, and I'm going to be accountable for the next 2 months by telling you how it goes. So let's do it together. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Look, I can see your face in the Parisian paintings. The Mona Lisa, I can hear your voice in the streets and the TV stations.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. I feel like we made everyone hungry to start the show talking about queso and chips and salsa, guacamole. Yeah. I think we're having steak tacos tonight. Enchiladas are also delicious. Even just rice and beans. I love some just
me too.
Flavored pinto beans and some just Mexican rice. Delicious.
Oh yeah. I usually go, I mean, I guess it depends, but I like taco salads because you get a little bit of everything. Like you still will get the meat. There's usually guac and sour cream and queso and all the good stuff, but then there's like a little bit of healthy. I love the shells. And then you can use that to like dip, and almost as a dip, I'll use it as sometimes, but that's usually my go-to. But certain places I prefer it. I like them better than other places.
Mm-hmm. What's the meat for you guys? You said steak. What do you normally like in your?
Normally I'll get chicken if we go somewhere, but yeah, Brian's going to do steak tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I like all of it. I love any meat, but I will do shredded chicken if it's the taco salad. But I do like, if I'm doing fajitos, I like steak.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
We do like ground beef and then ground turkey and then mix it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's a good
So
one.
a little
for
bit of
us.
healthy.
Yeah, ish. And then, but we'll do more like like bowls that like you take the
Like a rice
jasmine
bowl.
rice
Yeah.
and then the lettuce and then fill it up and that kind of stuff.
Those
yeah.
are good.
Yeah.
I'm always down for a rice bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Camarones are good too.
What
Shrimp.
are?
Camarones.
Yeah, you speak in Spanish?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not bilingual
Okay.
other than
Just
hola.
the one word camarones. That's all I said. Shrimp. Oh, that's good too. All right, Travis Hunter. I'm sure he likes shrimp. I wanted to talk about him because Mike Direcko of ESPN, when all the ESPN people were putting together their power rankings, and I'm not going to worry about the power rankings now.
saw
That
it.
doesn't really
Yep.
matter. Jaguars
Yep.
are 15th. They used to be 9th. But when asked about what the position group that the Jaguars improved the most this offseason, D-Rock said cornerback. Travis Hunter being primarily a cornerback in 2026, the opposite of what happened last year, is the main reason he played 67% of the offensive snaps, 36% of the defensive snaps. And I wanted to circle back to what Cam Wolfe had initially reported for NFL.com. He said Jacksonville plans to use Hunter as a full-time cornerback and a part-time wide receiver moving forward. However, that set off people to say that he wouldn't be playing any offense. I'll never know. Those were his exact words. But when it comes to Travis Hunter, I feel like, and Trevor Lawrence kind of talked about this recently too, is like people kind of forgot about him. Like the excitement almost had worn off because he got hurt halfway pretty much through the season. I wonder if our expectations, if we've lowered them a little bit. Like I feel like this time last year, right after the draft, I mean, we were talking he's going to have 10 touchdowns on offense and 5 interceptions on defense, and he's going to, light the NFL on fire, so to speak. And now I feel like we've all kind of tampered the expectations down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was very excited, but I was a little like, how are they going to do it? And that's where my mindset coming into this is how are they really going to get him familiar with both playbooks and both sides of the ball and be able to, because we were seeing how practice was working and, like he was switching in between, and I just wasn't sure how that was going to work in one off season and not even a full off season with this team. So to me, I feel like mine were a little more tempered than probably other people, not because of his ability. And I remember I kept saying that, like, not because I don't think he can do it, because I truly think that Travis Hunter can play both sides of the ball and be a really good player on both sides of the ball. I was just curious how a new coaching staff and a rookie and like in a shortened off season with the team was going to be able to get all of this together and figure it all out that quickly without being able to hit each other and like do some of the things like that actual contact in a game that goes into it. And so there were some, like for me, some reservations in that sense. And that's why I do think that this offseason, to me, it's almost expectations are higher because you do now have the familiarity with both playbooks, the coaches, Trevor Lawrence, the guys around you for the most part on the defense you've already played with. And so I think that granted, even though you missed half a season, you still had this you had all of the, OTAs in camp and then a half a season. And then now this full off season from the time, like I know you're healing, but you're still able to dive into the playbook and do some of those things. And so I almost feel better this year because I do feel like the team as a whole can have a better plan because they have a better idea of how to do it and when to do it and how to organize all of this. But I also just think the familiarity that Travis Hunter has with the NFL, the team, and Trevor and all of those things will help.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Look, it's crazy because before he got hurt, he had his best game as an offensive weapon, and you're like, okay, I see it now. And then he gets hurt, and then you wonder if he doesn't get hurt, do we even trade for Jacoby Myers at all? I don't know that answer. We might not have. We're glad we did because he's a Jaguar.
And the drops were an issue even with Travis Hunter on the field.
Yeah, but I don't think if he didn't get hurt, I don't think they make that move. But maybe I'm wrong. I could be, that may not be true. I think I'm a little bit reserved this, like right now. I'm not worried that he gets hurt again, but that's in the back of my mind.
Okay.
Now that doesn't mean he's susceptible to injury. It's not. It's just I just didn't like, how it happened. In practice, non-contact. Injuries happen. They happen all the time. I know that firsthand. And he could and the reality is he may not ever be injured again. That could be it, one and done. I'm just a little concerned. And then the concern on top of that is, well, what happens if he does get hurt again? Is it Jarian Jones? And I love Jarian. I think he can play corner. I really do. But they didn't address corner other than re-signing Buster, and you're going to make, Travis more a defender. Now, they've come out and said he's going to play both ways. I still think he'll play more defense because we need him more, because we did show without him we could still score 30 multiple games. I still want him, don't get me on that side, but I think he's more needed on defense. And maybe just playing corner helps him a little bit in that wear and tear type fashion, But it's going to be hard for them to keep him off on the offense.
To our next guest.
Wow.
Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
He needs no introduction.
Yeah.
One of the best kickers in Jaguars history, if not the best. Josh Scobie joins us now. Josh, what did we do? What have we said that upset you?
Sorry. Yeah, listening to yourself, I apologize. How are y'all doing?
We're good.
Doing
How are you
good,
doing?
Josh.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, I'm good. Just driving to another kid's sporting event, never ending.
What sporting event is on tap right now? Baseball?
11-year-old soccer game in Middleburg. So just driving.
Yeah, that's fun.
Listening to you guys. But yeah, I heard y'all talking about Travis Hunter. I just wanted to tell a funny story about him. He lives in our neighborhood, and everyone knows that he loves to bass fish, and he's such a good human being. And our 14-year-old and his best friend, who actually went to Bishop Kenny, Lauren.
Nice.
They love to bass fish as well, and right after Travis had gotten hurt last season, they ran into each other while they were bass fishing at Deerwood, where we live, and they just happened to start fishing together and, exchange phone numbers. So now they just go bass fishing together and text each other all the time. And they've been doing this for probably, I don't know, 6 months now. And I asked my son, like, do you ever like talk to him about like who your dad is? He's like, no, I don't. Like, you've never told him that your dad played for the Jaguars. Like, no. I'm like, all right, well, just keep it cool then. And one day, can I come fishing with you? He's like, yeah, one day. I'm like,
that's funny.
But
like,
Travis
all right,
loves
cool.
the innocence of it. Yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah.
It's so cool. But they text each other all the time, and it just blows my mind that they're buddies because he's, 22 years old, 23, and they're closer in age than I am to Travis. So they're just buddies. It's so cool.
I thought about that too. Like they're much closer in age than we are to them. And especially that means that Travis Hunter's nose hair doesn't grow as fast as yours does, Josh.
Yeah, that's why I love to do it, and I hope the best for him. But it's fun to see it. But anyway, it was just a random story that I wanted to share.
Hey, Josh, wait till you're in your mid-50s with all the hair coming out of every little piece of your body, buddy. All right? Don't worry about 40. You just wait.
Did you not see my last tweet earlier today?
That's why we're joking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes.
He's saying it gets
I'm
even
already
worse.
there,
It
Tom.
gets even worse.
Yeah, he's saying this is the beginning.
Yeah,
so
that's
just
only the beginning, buddy.
That's funny. Well, y'all be good and have a good rest of the show.
Well, thanks you
Josh.
too.
Thanks,
Last question. What position is your son playing soccer that's about to play?
David, what position are you going to play today? Right winger.
All right.
All right, go
Nice.
get some goals.
Yeah.
All right, good luck. Thanks,
Yes,
Josh.
sir.
See you,
All right, y'all be good.
Thanks, John.
That's awesome.
Very Travis.
is.
Like I wouldn't expect anything else from him.
Yeah.
Like I was laughing though because Logs just was like he needs to like step his fishing game up. Be
Right.
like, there's more than bass here.
Yeah. But you know what's great about bass fishing is you can yank the heck out of that hook to set it. Like a lot of fish, you got to let them take it. They got dainty mouths. Got to wait. You're like, come on, just grab it. Because I'm always ready to yank. But with bass, they hit it and you can yank that son of a gun. And it's
Because
so
you're
much
trying to
fun.
get them out from under
It's so
whatever
much fun.
crevices and holes.
Hey,
that
just
they're
set
in.
the hook. Sometimes they swallow it. That's a dang shame. But yeah, because in the old house I had, we had a pond and
Okay.
6-pound bass in there. It was unbelievable.
Nice.
Massive. Yeah, so much fun.
We've talked more lacrosse in the last 2 weeks and more fishing for
Fishing.
sure. But yeah, shout out to Josh for giving us a call on that because I do think that goes to show you, and we've talked about his character and all that stuff, but it goes to show you just like how normal and down to earth someone like Travis Hunter is, even though he has the stardom of some of the people that were at the Met Gala last night for crying out loud. All right, the golden moment awaits on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
There's no place like home.
Home sweet home.
1010XL.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Dailies is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Dailies. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Dailies is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Dailies. Dailies is made fresh.
Attention business owners and sales professionals. Still hearing, I need to think about it? Pat McManaman from Sandler Sales. We can help. There's a 2-day sales boot camp in Jacksonville, May 13th and 14th. We'll show you how to handle objections and close more deals without being pushy. Call us at 904-646-1900 for more details. 646-1900. Let's get your business and top-line revenue growing.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Litigated by Morgan & Morgan.
Hey, Hicken here, and oh man, TopDressing.com came and hit my lawn with that deep aeration. I got to see their truck. Ooh, is that cool? It's like a transformer. Aerators rolling right off it. They punched the yard. They dropped their proprietary mix and cleaned up like they were never there. Next step, rich, green St. Augustine grass. If your lawn needs a real turnaround, call TopDressing.com today for your free estimate. They'll make your grass look like a golf course for real. Call today and top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
What if every day felt like a private resort in your backyard? Premier Outdoor Inc., Jacksonville's #1 pool builder in the 2025 Best of Bold City Awards, creates entire outdoor living spaces, not just pools, custom pools, heated spas, summer kitchens, cabanas, fireplaces, screen enclosures, and more. Veteran and first responder owned, turn your backyard into an unforgettable retreat. See what you could build at premieroutdoorinc.net. Premier Outdoor Inc., a visionary of hardscapes and aquatics.
The weather is heating up, and it's time to drop a line in the water. Gear up today at Green Acres Sporting Goods, Jacksonville's fishing headquarters. From Shimano and Penn Reels to Zoom baits and much more for saltwater and freshwater fishing. They've got everything you need to land the big one. And when your gear needs work, trust their expert rod and reel repair to keep you casting like new. Stop by Green Acres today or shop online at greenacresporting.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Frank Frangie here with Coach Delaney from Coil Fencing. For years, your offenses have been putting up a lot of yards and points at Fletcher. I hear Coil also gains a lot of yards in the fence world.
Yes, Frank. Coil Fencing has been serving the Jacksonville community and general contractors for 99 years. We fence tens of thousands of commercial and residential yards, all while maintaining an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
99 years?
That's right. Some might call it a dynasty.
To schedule your appointment, visit CoilJax.com. That's COYLE Jax.com.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjax.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Golden moment. Thank you to Josh Scobie for calling in and sharing his story about Travis Hunter.
Great.
And yeah, Travis Hunter is a great person. We know that side of things. It'll be interesting to see how this offseason goes and what the true plan is. There's been all sorts of stuff. Also, thank you to Andrew Monaco, voice of Texas A&M Aggies, on talking both Nate Boerkircher and Albert Regis. So shout out to both of them. I also saw an interesting note that I wanted to read. This continues. It's something we've talked about on this show before when it comes to teams. We talk a lot about the team colleges and the players drafted out of the college and how many of those, like how many of Florida and Texas and whatever the case may be. Georgia has a lot. We know that recently. But 2026 NFL draft picks by high school state. Texas with the most, 33. Florida second with 26. And Georgia 22nd. So those three states pumping out a lot of athletes that are going to the NFL draft. Behind that, California has 19. Ohio has 11. Alabama, Illinois, Maryland tied with 10. Missouri, Virginia with 9. Tennessee with 8. Iowa 7. Louisiana, Minnesota, Wisconsin 6. Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, South Carolina 5. Utah has 4. A large group of teams that have 3. Kentucky, Mississippi, Nebraska, North Carolina, Oregon, Washington, only 2. And then Arkansas, Hawaii, Idaho, Montana, and then international players 1.
Wow.
So I just looked it up. Texas population, 31.7 million people. Florida, 23 million. So certainly Texas is a much larger state in general, but also has more people. So it makes sense that they're number one. Plus, we know Texas high school on Friday, Texas high school
rules
Friday
the
nights.
world.
That is, people stop everything that they're doing. I would not say that in Jacksonville, Florida, people stop what they're doing for high school football. I think if you're connected to a player or a team, then you'll certainly make sure that you're at least some of the games. But in some of the small towns in Texas, everything's shut down because every single person in that small town is at the Friday night high school game.
I thought Pennsylvania would have more than 5. They normally have a good crop of tough, lineman type, you know, grunt type workers.
There was two. That one was interesting in Louisiana because Louisiana, we've always talked about their high school, and they had 6, so it's up there, but that's a drastic difference, obviously, than those top from 33, 26, and 22.
That means LSU's recruiting players from other states, is what that means. And I mean, we've seen that certainly.
Well, they're high schools, I've heard. Like you talk about Leonard Fournette, like you can make a long list of the guys that have come out of. And they always said that's one of the best when it comes to LSU gets all of these guys because they have really good high schools in Louisiana. So that's why I was a little surprised in that. But
I wonder if portal and then all that stuff, is it different, or was it?
It also can change from year to year.
Yeah.
This is not a sample size of the last 5 years of drafts. It's just a snapshot of the 2026. So it could be just a dip
down year for them
this year. They decided
Texas,
to stay in
Florida,
school.
Georgia, I know has led the last decade. So those 3 have kind of sat at the top, but I do think that next range has kind of fluctuated a little bit.
Cali's dropped a little, it seems. 19 seems low for them.
Yes.
Yeah, they get massive state too. You know, you think they normally have a bunch of players that make it to the elite level.
Yeah, I wonder if they've focused less on football and maybe some other states. I obviously have no idea. California population almost 40 million.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Which everyone always tells us how expensive it is to live there, but yet a lot of people obviously still live there. No humidity is a nice bonus.
Yeah. They do have good weather for the most part out there. But yeah, it's very expensive. We talk about the taxes out there. You talk about a lot of things that California has to deal with that I'm good without.
We will stay right here in Florida. Speaking of Texas, Texans owner Cal McNair told reporters on Monday that he is fully committed to C.J. Stroud when asked about a contract extension, but he said he'll let, obviously, Nick Caserio, the general manager, work all that out. If this was here in Jacksonville and Shad Khan made those comments like, I'm fully committed to Trevor Lawrence, but I'll let the general manager figure it out, would you think that Shad behind closed doors is going to, and I guess I'll use Balky because he was the GM when Trevor got the extension. Do you think Shad would have gone to Trent Baalke behind closed doors and said, we need to sign Trevor to an extension? Or do you think Shad would have literally said, whatever Trent Baalke thinks is what we'll do?
The latter.
Yeah, me too. I think he put almost too
runs it.
much faith in Baalke sometimes, and we saw that.
Yeah. I think he's got all the faith in the world in the guys currently. You know what I mean? I think he's not a meddling owner, if that's the right word. You know what I mean? Like, it's more like, hey, bring me your plan. Let's talk about it. Okay, I like it or I don't. You know.
I know Shad loves
giving you the
Trevor,
plan.
so I wouldn't have been surprised if they did have conversations like, we do. I want you to get this done. I trust you to handle the details of it. But when it comes to the Texans, this is going to be a fascinating storyline. Will Anderson has already gotten paid 3 years, $150 million, highest non-paid quarterback in all of the NFL. And then you've got C.J. Stroud, who obviously hasn't been as good as his rookie season, but hasn't been terrible by any means. And he is their franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
So they picked up his 5th-year option, but now they have to figure out at what point do they give him an extension. Because I do think that's what's coming, unless he just completely regresses this season.
Yeah, and I think that, look, again, I thought I would have waited a year for Trevor and just paid him more. And that was my take on that. So for me, if I'm the Texans, I want to see another year out of him. He's got.
Because you have the Tua Tagovailoa part of this conversation.
Yeah,
you paid him a little too early. And
He's
does
still
it really,
$99 million.
Does it really hurt to pay the extra, let's call it $5 million per year more, even if it's up to $10 million per year more? So when Trevor was signed, he was going to get an extension that was going to pay him starting this year of the $55 million per year. Is that really a savings over what he would have gotten if the extension had been a year later?
Yeah. I don't know. No, I don't.
It doesn't seem like it.
Well, Dak's the next one at 60, right? Dak's the highest paid per year QB, I think, right now. You know,
and
so is it
that
going to go
was like
higher?
the selling point was okay. He was tied with Joe Burrow, but it's okay because in the next round. But I will say that I think there just wasn't. He was getting signed at the same time as Tua and Jordan Love, and there was several guys in that mix. And then there's been a little bit of a gap, other than like Sam Darnold going to Seattle and like some of those guys. So I think that next wave of guys, when we're going to see Caleb Williams and Drake May and Jaden Daniels, that one is going to be way higher. I think we're going to see a drastic increase in those ones. And that's what you're like, okay, let's beat that middle ground that was right in between that next group of big guys getting paid.
And I said it then. I felt like then those 3 guys, like you almost had to, or there was something wrong with your QB.
Yeah.
Like you didn't believe in them if they did Tua, and then you're Jacksonville, you don't do it. Then everyone's like, oh, well, you don't believe in Trevor. You know, you're not paying him. Why aren't you paying him? They're paying Tua. And I think that was the same with Love as well. Like, hey, man, we got to keep, this is the deal. Yeah. If you like me, this is the price. This is what we do. We do it now. But I think after watching Tua, you're like, well, let's pump the brakes just a second.
Yeah, he almost helped the rest of the NFL, like the lack of performance.
Yeah,
Again,
of being more
Tua had.
not rushing into the
Correct.
contracts.
Yeah.
The owners they got plenty of money, right? They can make a lot of things, big money, not seem that big, but $99 million in a year that he's not even going to play for your organization just rips an owner. Are you kidding me? They got the money. Don't get me wrong, but they're sitting there going, man, I'm
paying someone for not working for them.
Not even working for me. Like that's got to drive.
And I'm sure the owner did sign off on that specifically.
Oh, yeah.
But what I just feel like the whole Sam Darnold conversation is completely different. Like Sam Darnold had played for multiple teams by the time he ended up leaving the Vikings. CJ Stroud, I feel like if the Texans want him to be a Texan moving forward, they'll figure it out. Yeah.
Listen, if Stroud had Darnold's year in Minnesota before he went to Seattle,
he'd gotten
paid.
Well, and I think
Big
that
time.
to Stroud, he honestly might be don't pay me yet because and we know Stroud's a confident guy. We've seen that in how he talks and how he's expressed himself in the past. So I do think that Stroud maybe being like, don't pay me yet because I feel like I can give me an O-line and a run game and I can be better and then I'll make more money. So I'm sure that's in his head because he's that type of player.
Yeah. David Montgomery, the additions they made to the offensive line for sure. All right, Terminix, Pest of the Day on the other side. It's Helmets and Heels 10 to XL 92.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Trust me, I know this. I've been dealing with Nimnik forever, and they really are that good. For 3 generations, Nimnik's been the place customers keep coming back to. Customers like me, treating you right, giving the most back to our community, more choices and better prices. It's just the best place to buy cars, and I can promise you that. So who gives you the best experience when you're buying a car? Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Backed by
Morgan & Morgan.
Hey, poker players, let's ride to the riches. Best Bet St. Augustine is giving away a brand new all-terrain side-by-side vehicle and cash prizes during the Ride to the Riches promotion. From May 1st through August 7th, every hour of poker and table games played at Best Bet St. Augustine earns you a chance to win over $40,000 in cash and prizes, including a top-of-the-line side-by-side all-terrain vehicle. Visit bestbetjax.com for details. That's bestbetjax.com, and we'll see you in St. Augustine.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler, and this Mother's Day, we'd like to help you celebrate Mom with up to 40% off our entire inventory. GIA-certified natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds, beautiful colored gemstones, designer brands, custom jewelry design, and Monahan Jewelers offers interest-free financing on any purchase, so get something special with a payment you can afford. Come celebrate Mom with fine jewelry at up to 40% off at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia from Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, his adorable chessman sidekick.
There are 2 things you want to ask when getting a custom polymer garage floor coating. Will it be done right? And will it be priced right?
And just how charming is their mascot?
No. At Checkmate, our small specialized install teams follow a strict 29-point installation checklist
to ensure the highest quality results at a price you can afford.
A Checkmate polyaspartic floor can be customized in dozens of colors and sweeps up sparkling clean in just seconds.
No need to wear your shoes in the garage to avoid tracking dirt back into the house.
The quality you expect?
Check. A price that might surprise you.
Check. A floor you just can't wait to show your friends? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Hey guys, Coach Campo here. We just left Tony D's Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295. My wife is still raving about the eggplant parmesan. At Tony D's, it's more than just pizza. I'll see you there.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La Playa awaits.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. One segment to go here. Time now for our Pest of the Day, as always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. It's TERMINIX.com. They do a fantastic job taking care of everything at our house, as well as ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and eventually the Stadium of the Future that is certainly under construction as we speak. Right, I showed you all this off air, but people are making fun of the little boy and his brother who are involved in the Red Sox Tigers foul ball incident over the weekend, and making fun of the fact that the younger brother threw the foul ball back, and obviously the older brother then is so upset because they were supposed to be able to keep that ball. The dad's trying to calm them both down. But don't make fun of a little kid who didn't maybe understand that he was supposed to keep the foul ball. He probably just started T-ball and he's like excited.
He's like, yeah, I get to throw the ball.
Exactly. Someone throws him a ball. He wants to throw a ball. Let it break or back off this kid.
Yeah, home runs you're supposed to throw back, right?
If it's the opposing team's home run, obviously, yeah.
But not the foul ball.
The foul ball you're
keep
most usually excited to keep, and an adult actually got the foul ball and then gave it to the little kid.
He throws it away.
Obviously, the older brother's like, why didn't you give that to me? I have a glove on. I would have kept said foul ball.
Yeah.
But either way.
Yeah, you get it. Baseball.
There's like
the
so
lesson
many little
learned.
unspoken rules at baseball games when it comes to like that.
Yeah.
You throw the ball. If it's your opposing team, you throw it back. I was sharing a story with you guys that because that's a big thing at Wrigley. Like the bleachers will scream at you if you keep an opposing team's ball. And so, but I've seen situations where a kid will get it and they'll be like, throw it back. And the kid's like, I don't want to. Like, I want to keep the home run ball. And they're like, no, throw it back. And everyone will start chanting and then they'll throw it back. And usually there's some tears because he's like, man, I just got a home run ball and I had to throw it back. But then everyone's celebrating for them and you'll see them kind of be like confused a little, but they're like, I don't know.
Messaging. Like, I got this to keep it, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I don't know. I thought that was hilarious.
I know,
That
the
kid's
poor kid.
reaction was like, hey, thanks.
And then the older brother's screaming at him.
Dad's trying to console like both kids at the same time.
Or dad's got his shades on. He's like, man, can you two chill out? I'm just
And
watching a baseball game.
Right after that happened, he's like, I'm going to go viral for this.
Yeah, right.
He's like,
So
my
I think-
wife's going to definitely text me in a minute.
She's going to say, this is why I was
Yeah.
supposed to go with you. I only had 3 tickets, honey. All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Did you see that play that we're discussing, the
No,
foul ball, the dad
no.
and the 2 boys?
What happened?
So the younger brother threw the foul ball back.
Well, after someone gave it to him.
Yeah, someone gives him the foul ball. He throws it back onto the field.
Bad move.
Older brother's furious with him.
Okay.
Dad has to try and console both of them. It was difficult for Dad.
I did not see that. I did not see that. But but some of the best ones we've ever seen are the little kids. They always throw them.
Yeah, they just they're like
playing
ball
catch.
throw.
They're playing catch,
Yeah.
right? They're playing catch. The big brother was pissed, huh?
Oh,
He
yeah.
was.
He was letting his little brother have it for sure.
Little brother, no, I didn't see it.
We talked about Travis
Yeah.
Hunter earlier. The most improved position group on the team, Mike Giaracco said it's corner. What would you say in the offseason?
I hadn't thought about that. Biggest difference now till then, or from then till
Yeah.
now? Yeah, because the receiver's about the same. Offensive line's about the same. Yeah.
You can't say running back and linebacker
Yeah,
just yet.
I would probably. I'll be interested if. Yeah, probably corner. I mean, that's a hard question because you want defensive tackle to be better.
Yeah.
But you don't know if Regis will change it. You don't know if row will change it. But
Yeah.
you want, you know what I mean? So you don't know. So I hope the answer is going to be defensive tackle.
Okay.
Tight end's got to
I was about to say you don't want to say tight end.
But tight end for sure. I mean,
It should be better.
tight end for sure. So no, it'll be. Look, we'll be out there watching them. I think they've got. Look, no one's got a perfect roster. I like their roster. I like. They won 13 games.
Yeah.
You know, I like kind of where their roster is, and so it'll be fun going out there and watch them. So, what'd y'all say to that? Did you agree with D-Rock?
I think so. I mean, I think secondary overall last year was not a strength, I would say, for this team. Or at least in the games that they lost, you could point to that as certainly part of the reason, the Bills game being one of those.
Yeah, I think it's a great position to be in, that you have to think to come up with that.
Yeah.
You know, the last thing you'd want to say is, well, the receiver's a lot better than it was last year, and the defensive tackle's a lot better than last year, and safety's a lot better than last year. That means you sucked last year, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you added a marquee name, like some of the teams that the Jaguars will face did. Like the Rams can say Trent McDuffie.
Yeah.
We traded
the Bills
Trent
can say
McDuffie.
DJ Moore adding to this.
So we'll see. But we're going to talk today about all of that. We're going to get a little bit more into what you want to watch at training camp. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up on the program today. A little NBA stuff because Hackers knows that so well. And John Galloway's going to go on. John is the lacrosse coach at JU. The men's lacrosse made the NCAA tournament for the first time, which is really cool. And he's a really good dude, and he's a former superstar at Syracuse. So all that coming up in just a bit.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
And once again, for people who missed it, rookie minicamp comes up on Saturday, 1:25 to 2:30. That's what time we'll be out there.
I will not be here because I'm going out of town.
Oh, that's right.
Unfortunately.
So let's see. It's an hour and 5 minutes. So the first 25, they won't do anything. They'll be like stretching and, I don't know, ladder drills or something.
Tom and I definitely like to arrive post-stretching.
Yeah.
That is always a goal for us.
Yeah, well, they got to stretch. I get it, but I don't want to sit there and watch them stretch.
Right.
That's boring to me.
Now, for
I need
this
a little
practice, because
more.
it's so short, I don't know that they'll have an extended stretching period. That
They got to stretch, LB.
Right,
These
but
kids can't be pulling hammies.
they might not have that as far as what we're the open
What
viewing,
we're open to see.
Yeah,
Okay.
so hopefully it'll be a little bit more.
They've already
exciting
stretched.
than that.
They've
Yeah.
already
I need pre-stretch.
stretched and warmed up.
Pre-stretch. I need
Very
that to
good.
happen.
Goal line scrimmage right off the bat.
Yeah, you're going to be on vacation next week.
I am. Yep.
All right.
Be up in Myrtle Beach. So I leave technically Friday night because I'm flying out of Orlando. So I'm going to drive down to Orlando and then fly out early Saturday. And then I'll be gone for a while. 11 days vacation pretty much.
Which is awesome. You don't normally do that.
No, this is definitely the longest one I've had to where I've just been able to go for a straight period of time.
Cool.
So I'm excited. It'll
That's
be fun.
exciting for sure.
Tom and I will be here. But today's just Tuesday, so we have a lot more time to talk
we have more
We
about
got a
this
lot to
week
get
talk
into.
about.
There's
That's
no
right.
doubt.
All right, that'll do it for us today. For Taylor Dahl, for Tom McManus, for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show with